Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. Like to welcome you all to the show. Now, look, as you all know, school has officially started throughout the Americas, right? So my son came home from school, right, and he asked me, what was the origin of our family's last name? Now, this is such a dilemma because the quote unquote what we would call our slave name of what we originally said came from the slave master, right? And that would be Cole, Cole. Although we go by the name Muhammad. So I want to give him the origin of Cole, right? Because Cole is a name that was given to the Moors by the English, and specifically in that Cornwall part, even though in previous times Cornwall was not a part of England. Cornwall was ruled by the Celts, which the original Celts were the Moors, right? And so, if you were called Cole, that was just another term that they used to call black, because Cole was black, and they saw these black Moors coming. They were referred to as, that was another term for black. So the dilemma is, did the term Cole come from the slave master, but Cole was actually black first, before there were any white people called Cole, because the origin of the word coal comes from that charcoal coal, which meant black, in which they were calling the Moors. Now, y'all bear with me on this, because it's you gotta follow me on this, right? You gotta follow me on this, because there's a place in Cornwall called Bodmin Moor, which is Bodmin Moor, Moor, right? And a moor in Cornwall is in southwest England, known for its rocky hills, right? That's Bodmin Moor, right? Now, it's a market town in southwest England, Cornwall, near Bodmin Moor. It's a granite upland rising to 420 meters or feet. Population 12,778. Bodmin Moor is an inhabited place. But Bodmin Moor is known for mining zinc and tin. Granite. The Moors from North Africa and Spain would travel and mine in Bodmin Moor and mine for minerals. Now, was Bodmin Moor and the Moors got their name from Bodmin Moor? Or since the Moors was there, i.e. they named it Bodmin Moor? That's something we got to find out and discuss. Okay, we getting into it. Now, trying to find you, okay. Now, here we go. I want to read all this to you. Okay. Now, mind you, wherever they travel on this planet, I don't care if you're in the Grand Canyons and you see evidence of the Egyptians. I don't care if you're in Mexico and you see evidence of the Olmecs. I don't care if you're in Mississippi and you see evidence of the Olmecs. All over this globe, melanated people were there building and creating far long before the colonizers came up out of the caves and hillsides of Europe and the Caucasus Mountains, right? You can go back and research that. Now, this show has nothing to do with hate teachings. We only point out certain facts to battle, because we're in battle right now, whether you all know it or not. We battle, and establishing facts is part of the battle. You have to establish your weight or your worth, right? You have to get down and establish who you are, because if you let other people identify you, then they're going to identify you the way they would like to see you identified in historical text. So you have to say, no, wait, no, that's not true. That's not true. We've been here. We've been doing this before you came and took it and then stole the traditions and claimed it for yourselves as it was your own. And then you went out and told the world. Then you suppressed the true inhabitants to almost make it seem like they never existed. So in these times, one of the reasons why there's so much hatred, police brutality, and injustice in the world is because the original people need to stand up to qualify and verify themselves that we do exist. This is the truth. And let's sit down and deal. If not, they will run over you and try to wipe you out. Okay. 10,000 years ago, in the Mesolithic period, hunter-gatherers wandered the area when it was woody. Now I'm reading about the Bodmin Moor area, right? There are several documented cases of flint scatters being discovered by archaeologists, indicating that these hunter-gatherers practiced flint knapping in the region. During the Neolithic era, from about 4,500 to 2,300 BC, people began clearing trees and farming the land. It was also in this area that the production of various megalithic monuments began, predominantly long cairns. And let me get you, cairn is like a rock pile. Yeah, a cairn is a man-made pile or a stack of stones. The word cairn comes from the Scottish Gaelic, right? Cairn. Cairn have been and are used for a broad variety of purposes, from prehistoric times to the present. In modern times, cairns are often erected as landmarks, a use they have had since ancient times. However, since prehistory, they have also been built and used as burial monuments, for defense and hunting, for ceremonial purposes, sometimes relating to astronomy, to locate buried items such as caches of food or objects, and to mark trails, among other purposes. But astronomy actually is what we use to mark our position on the planet, right? That's what that was for, right? Okay. So we getting back to, let me finish getting back to where we were at. Okay. Now, cairns and stone circles, right? 16 of which have been identified. It was only likely that the naturally forming Thors were also viewed in a similar manner to the man-made ceremonial sites. In the following Bronze Age, the creation of monuments increased dramatically with the production of over 300 further cairns, and that's Cairns, and more stone circles and stone rows. More than 200 Bronze Age settlements where enclosures and field patterns have been recorded, and many prehistoric stone barriers and circles lie scattered across the moor. Right, the moor is what they called the land in Cornwall that had the granite, the tin, and the zinc. They called that geographical location the moor. In a programme shown in 2007 Channel 4, Time Team investigated 500 meter cairn and the site of a Bronze Age village on the slopes of Rough Tor, that's Tor, King Arthur's Hall, thought to be a late Neolithic or early Bronze Age ceremonial site, can be found to the east of St. Breward on the moor. That's why they said King Arthur was a Moor. They said King Arthur also, the real King Arthur, was black, and the knights of the Round Table, because they was in Moor land, and they got historical facts that the Moors that was in Cornwall came from North Africa and Spain, when the Moors derived from North Africa and Spain. So where practicable are areas of the moor were used for pasture by herdsmen from the parishes surrounding the moor. Granite boulders were also taken from the moor and used for stone posts and to a certain extent for building. Such materials is known as moor stone. Granite quarry only became reasonably productive when gunpowder became available. The moor gave its name, Bodmin Moor, to one of the medieval districts called Stannaries, which is Stannaries, which administrated tin mining. The boundaries of these were never defined precisely until the establishment of a turnpike road through the moor, the present A30, in the 1770s. The size of the moorland area made travel within Cornwall very difficult. Its Cornish name, Goen Bryn, is first recorded in the 12th century. English heritage monographs, Bodmin Moor, an archaeology survey covering the post-medieval and modern landscape, are publicly available through the Archaeological Data Service. Jamaica Inn is a traditional inn on the moor, built as a coaching inn in 1750, and having an association with smuggling, it was used as a staging post for changing horses. Right. I'm going to read this other one. Here we go. Hold on. Wait. We're going to go here. Doesmary Pool is identified by some people with the lake in which, according to Arthurian legend, Sir Bedivere threw Excalibur to the Lady of the Lake. Another legend relating to the pool concerns Janj. The beast of Bodmin Moor has been reported many times but never identified with certainty. Right. So basically, what this is telling you, that there was a land in Cornwall called Bodmin, Bodmin Moor, where the people from North Africa and the Moors from Spain came to mine granite, they mined tin, and they mined zinc in those areas. As the Europeans was expanding their empire, leaving the caves or the hillsides of Europe, they were calling these people coal for It was COLE, but they were meaning, and it later, well, it was COAL and later became COLE, the Moors, in which the terminology that they were using to identify the people who was mining in that area, and it became Bodmin Moor. But but the question is, was Bodmin Moor named after the people, or were the people that was there doing the mining, the black people that was there doing the mining, got their name from the area of Moor? That's what we gotta research, and there's no evidence or no historical fact yet to have been found doing research that can clarify. Only thing we can clarify is that the people who were mining in Bodmin Moor, which Moor, or which is Moor, is the geographical name of that location in Cornwall. At the time, wasn't a part of England. It was just Cornwall, which was part of the Black Celts. So we have to see. I got to do some more research and find out which was first. Were the people there called and identified themselves as Moor? Or, remember, this is 10,000 years ago that they were there mining. This was before King Arthur, but as I told you, King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table was Moors, right? But the people was traveling from North Africa and Spain, and prior to, because it took Spain in 750, right? But the people was always traveling from North Africa to Cornwall, where the Celts were mining for tin and zinc in that area, and that area is called Bodmin Moor. But it didn't say, did the area get its name from the Moors, or did the Moors get its name from that area? But I'm pretty sure somebody's going to inbox me on this show and give me a lead. Like all the wonderful subscribers that I have on this show, man, I appreciate y'all. And I keep telling you, this show is like none other. You don't see us every occasion where we'll post something where you can donate. And the only time we give out our Cash App for donations or whatnot is because when people ask, oh man, I like the subject, I like what you talk about, how can I donate to your show? Then we provide that. But for the most part, we're just sharing information in this time of crisis, because you have to build up knowledge of who you are in order to defeat the enemy of lies. Because lies has been ruling, but once truth comes, lies has to fade away. Verbal Pick Radio, we're out.